Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to today's video. We're going to be doing speed reviews on new makeup that I have tested, and this is from my last full face of brand new makeup on the scene. Lots of makeup to cover today. I feel like there's a lot in here, and I actually just did another full face of makeup pretty much all over my face. We have a lot of product to get through today, and this is going to be a full video full of just like some speed reviews. We have a lot of complexion products that I tried recently that I wanted to give you like the 411 on. These were all brand new makeup releases in January. We're now sitting down in March after I have tried these for a month, and I want to give you the nitty-gritty details of this product. Let's start off with some of the foundation that I have tried. And the first one that I want to mention is the Essence Keep Me Covered foundation. I tried that foundation and it was trying to be nice here, but I did not like that foundation at all. I actually decluttered it and I ended up returning it because it was that bad. Usually if it's something that doesn't work for me, I'm like, oh, maybe it'll work for somebody else so I can give it to them. No, this wasn't the case this time. This was a foundation that was very patchy. It was hard to work with in general. It dried down really, really fast, and the match of the shade just was not for me. I have a foundation review video of that foundation up on my channel, so go check out that foundation. But it didn't last well, it didn't wear well, it looked makeup-y, it looked cakey, it just did not settle on the skin the way that I was hoping it would, the way that I was really, really, really wanting it to, because so many people had reviewed it on YouTube, and that's what made me purchase it. The Keep Me Covered foundation from Essence, not a great foundation by any means. Now, a really good foundation that I have been loving over the past couple of months is the Juvia's Place I Am Magic Natural Radiance Foundation. This is in the shade Maricao, and I tried this in my full face of new makeup releases, and this is such a full coverage foundation. Like, I was completely blown away by the coverage that this offers, and I always put it on with a beauty blender because I feel like it shears it out a little bit better than a brush does. With a brush, it's just way too thick for me, and with a sponge, it also keeps that radiance and that finish that it has, and it's such a glowy, beautiful finish, very natural looking, very like skin like, and I absolutely so good. Like, I love this foundation. I definitely recommend it. It comes in so many shade ranges if you're looking for something very full coverage. Now, it does have a little bit of a scent to it. Oh, but it smells really good. It's actually got black cherry in it as one of the ingredients, and it's just a very good foundation. I do recommend this one if you're looking for something glowy, natural, full coverage, lasts a long time. It is a great foundation. And another foundation that I am completely blown away by, because I personally have not tried this brand in so long because they kind of just like turned me off for a very long time, is Makeup Revolution. It's the ReLOVE Super Matte 2-in-1 Foundation and Concealer. I have used so much of this foundation because it is so full coverage, so skin feeling, and it's also very, very transfer proof. I actually have a full video of a transfer proof makeup routine with this foundation, and I can blow my nose and it like doesn't go away. I can like pat it with a tissue and the foundation doesn't wear off. Like, it's just, it's so beautiful. So go check out that transfer proof foundation. But it's $5. $5 at Walmart. I found this at Walmart and it's $5, and it is so beautiful. Looks good on camera, off camera. It's just, it's gorgeous. And so for another complexion product, we have the Urban Decay Stay Naked Quickie Concealer. This quickly, no pun intended, I swear, this is happening a lot today, but this quickly became like a favorite concealer. It is so skin-like. It is so like, it's full coverage, but in the right ways, and it does not dry on me at all. I actually really enjoy the little buffer brush for those times where I'm like in a really big hurry and I can't find my concealer brush or my beauty blender, and I'm just like, I need to head out the door. I need to conceal. Let's just use the little concealer brush real quick. This is something I throw in my purse. I actually was told that some people picked this up because of my recommendations and my love for it in some of my other videos, and also in that transfer proof foundation video. It comes in a half an ounce. This is a half an ounce, and it is priced at about $33. So for the same price as Tarte Shape Tape, you get over a half an ounce of product, and it performs better than Tarte Shape Tape. It is so beautiful, so full coverage, long lasting. It doesn't dry out. It looks like skin. I love this concealer so much. I have the shade 20NN, which is a fair neutral shade. Now, for color correctors, I also tried out and did a how to use the color correctors from E.L.F. These are, I have the shades peach and green. The peach will cancel out my purpley undertones, and it's kind of like an orange too, so it cancels out the purple and like the blue. And then I have the green, which cancels out any red. So like my hyperpigmentation, if I have a really red blemish. I found that these were like very full coverage, easy to work with, easy to blend. They retail for $4 a piece, and they are so good. Like if you're looking for some great color correctors, I definitely recommend these. I think they're gorgeous. Like so easy to use. And if you do get the blue one cancels out any orange undertone that you may have in your skin. I don't have orange undertones. I have more of a cool undertone. That's why I got like the peach one for the blue slash like purpley undertones that I do have, like my mom bags, that sort of thing. Let's talk about these. Oh, these. It's a love-hate relationship with these. They are the Flower Beauty Low Light Liquid Contours. I have the medium shade and the light shade because I wasn't really sure which would work well for me. And I feel like it's such a love-hate relationship with these. The light shade is almost a little bit too light for me when I really want to like use it as a contouring shade. Light is just too light for me. And the medium is almost, it's almost too dark. Like it's like they needed an in-between shade for people who are super fair tone but they want to contour. This one has a little bit more of that like reddish undertone, whereas this one's a little bit more neutral. And while the packaging is adorable, and I love, don't get me wrong, I love their glow ones, the Spotlight liquid highlighters. Like these are some of my favorites. I love these so much. The contouring wand, these are like a meh for me. Like they're just meh because every single time I put them on, and it's really just a learning curve with these. Every single time I put them on, they're just really hard to blend. And so over a learning curve time, I've just realized that like you have to do a little bit at a time, really blend it out, and then do a little bit at a time and really blend it out. So this is that type of product where if you're in a quick hurry to get your makeup done and you want a little bit of liquid contour or even just some bronzer, this is not the product for you. It dries down really fast, makes it really hard to blend out, and the shades are very interesting to say the least. Like I said, I feel like there should be like an in-between shade because the light shade is almost too light for a liquid contour, but the medium shade is too dark for somebody who's as fair toned as me. So I need something in between that still has that cool tone, but is a little bit darker than the light one because the light one just doesn't do it for me. Once they go on the skin and they are blended out, if you can get it to blend the way that it's supposed to blend, like if you just go dot 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 and you just blend and then dot 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 and blend and dot 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 and blend, like then it's a really beautiful formula and it does look really nice on the skin. It's long lasting, it does wear down really nicely. I didn't have any like actual like wear trouble with this. It was just the initial application of these two. A really good cream bronzer that I do recommend if you're looking for something that's easy, effortless, lasts a long time, and it's literally just like a pat go, would be the Makeup Revolution. This is the Ultra Cream Bronzer in the shade Medium. I'm trying to open it and it's not wanting to open. This is the cream bronzer from Makeup Revolution. I like to use a really nice stippling brush with this. Like this is the Duo Fiber from LaRouche, and I use this, pat it in, and then just blend it on my skin. And it is such a really nice bronzer. Very pigmented, creamy, and the medium shade is that undertone that I like. And when it blends out, it's really easy to blend out. So that is the Makeup Revolution one. Makeup Revolution, I have two products in here. What's going on with this? So here is the medium shade. You will notice a significant difference between the medium shade of the Flower Beauty versus the medium shade of the Makeup Revolution. And actually, that like the light shade is more like my preferred color. So this is the Makeup Revolution. This is the medium in Flower Beauty. You see it has that red undertone, and then this is the light shade in Flower Beauty. Now, the light shade is actually closer to the medium shade in the Makeup Revolution, but the way that they blend out just, it's, so let's try blending it on the back of my hand here. But if you don't blend out the Flower Beauty, it just looks patchy, whereas like Makeup Revolution has been on my skin now for a while, and you'll just see it blends effortlessly. Like it's just, it blends so beautifully. Whereas like the Flower Beauty, this, like you can see the line from where it applied. And that's the problem that I have with the Flower Beauty bronzers. Now, if they blend it out more effortlessly, like the Makeup Revolution, I guarantee you it would be like a favorite product of mine. But because it has that problem with blending, it's just not a great product at all. The Makeup Revolution one, it has a great undertone for medium and it blends like a dream. It's a great undertone for somebody who's very skin toned like me. It's that shade that I'm talking about that this shade range is missing because it's a little bit darker than the light one. It has the neutral undertone and it doesn't have the red undertone and it's not like too dark. So if you're looking for a really great cream bronzer, check out the Makeup Revolution one. Now let's talk about this guy right here. This is the Cheek Kiss Liquid Blush Highlight from Milani and Luminoso. This was like their whole Luminoso collection. I did a little shorts of this, and to say, like, I have mixed feelings about this because it goes on very opaque. Like, this is when it's like built up and it's like just super pigmented on my skin. But if you actually blend this out, it literally blends away to just like a liquid highlight. So I don't know how they can classify this as a liquid like cheek blush. I think as a blush topper or a highlight, like a facial highlight, this is stunning. I do like it as like a face highlight. I think it is gorgeous like that. If you're planning on using this as a blush, don't, because it's not going to work for you. But it does have that beautiful rose gold undertone where you can use it as a blush topper or a highlight. And I think that's why I do like this one. It grew on me. At first, I thought it was going to be a lot more pigmented than what it was. But I've heard that from a lot of people lately that this has grown on them where they were like, it wasn't what they expected, but when they finally accepted it for what it really is, which is just a liquid highlight, it's gorgeous, and it actually, I've heard it being compared to the Peach Gasm from Charlotte Tilbury, and that the formula is very, very similar. Now, as far as another like glow wand that looks like a blush in general, I have the Makeup Revolution Brightlight Highlighter in Divine Dark Pink. I picked this up because I'm obsessed with like the Charlotte Tilbury glow wands, the blush wands, and all of that. And I really wanted to try this one because I'd heard so many people compare this formula. It's technically a highlight to the Charlotte Tilbury glow wands. Actually, I have to pat this out here. But this is the shade Divine Dark Pink. Now, keep in mind when like you get this, it is a little bit hard to pump out the product at first. That was one thing that I had noticed when I first got it. But once you get the product like dispensing, look how pretty that is. And it shears out so beautifully. It's a very lightweight cream blush, finishes down to a powder, long lasting, and it's just so gorgeous. Now, I don't know if there's any Charlotte Tilbury shades that really mimic this shade, but I think the concept is very similar, where it is glowy, it's blushy, and it's pink. But this is gorgeous. The Makeup Revolution Bright Light Highlighter in Dark Divine Pink. Oh, it's so good. Speaking of blush, we have the Juvia's Place Volume Floor Blushed Palettes. And I love Juvia's Place blushes. I've raved about them for years. They're in my like under $10 series because their single blushes are under $10. They're really, really beautiful. The Serafina is one of my favorites. But the Volume 4 I picked up because it was a new release. And that shade. That shade is why I picked it up. I don't understand why people aren't talking about this shade more, because this shade is truly a dupe for that Dior blush, the Persona Bubble blush. It is that cool toned, almost pink lavender shade, and it is just absolutely stunning on the skin. And I can't get enough of this. It's so beautiful. And then it comes with that poppy pink, like Barbie pink shade as a blush as well. And this is truly like the summer blush duo of your dreams. It retails for $18. A little steep in my book, but it is an indie brand. It is a woman-owned Black brand, and I love this blush. It's so beautiful. I decluttered the Juvia's Place bronzer duo. It was in the medium shade. I found that that duo in the medium shade was not for me at all. It was very yellow toned, very orange toned. It just was not the right undertone for me. Nothing was wrong with the formula. It was very like pigmented. It didn't accentuate anything. It did go on really nicely. It was just the shade. So I did also get rid of that one. It did not work for me. I think somebody who has that more like warm undertone would be able to work with it, whereas I have a cool undertone, so I use cooler undertoned bronzers. If I tend to use one that is more warm tone leaning, it looks way more orange on me than what it's supposed to. So keep that in mind when you're looking for a bronzer. And speaking of a powder, I have a powder that is like, this is so good. So I have an OG go-to setting powder. I used it today, and I use it every single day because it's in my project pan, but it's just one that I love. It's the Fit Me Matte and Poreless powder. As you can tell, it has like a lot of love in it. I don't have a lot of it left, and it's very like smoothing, but this one, it's the Sephora Microsmooth Multitasking Baked Face Powder. I've heard that this is a dupe for the Dior Powder No Powder. It's a favorite of Samantha March's. I was watching a duped video from Angelica Nyqvist, and she proposed that this was a dupe for the Dior Powder No Powder. I don't know if it is, but I love this powder because it's very, like, how do we explain how this, it's very finely milled. It is a baked formula, and with it being like so finely milled, it does just like blur your makeup, and it is a great setting powder. It doesn't leave me feeling cake face city. There have been times where I've just put on like some concealer and this set my face and I'm good to go. It's just one of those powders where it has multi-purposes to it, and I've even done just a lightweight moisturizer and then put this on, and it is just stunning. It is so pretty. Like, it just gives my skin this beautiful airbrushed effect, and it's just so pretty. Like, and it has a little bit of a brightening effect in it. I did get O5 porcelain, and porcelain has like a pinkish undertone, which again is a cool undertone for me. Now let's talk about an eyeshadow palette that's new to everybody. I actually got this because it was available on a Sephora UK site, and it has not been available on Natasha Denona until now. And that is the Natasha Denona Love Face palette. I did a whole review of this, swatch comparisons, and just kind of showing y'all like what this palette is. Is it worth it? So I have some thoughts on this palette. I think that the overall concept of a face palette with eyeshadows is like genius. There's actually another brand that I know that used to do this and they don't do it anymore. That was Unhidden Beauty, and you could actually build your own face palettes. They don't do that anymore. I have one of their like original OG palettes like that, and I loved the concept because it was all in one. Like, it's just so easy and travel friendly. The packaging is quality, very, very durable, you know, plastic. I love the pink. I love that you can pop out the eyeshadows if you can't see from my fingerprints, but you can pop out the eyeshadows and the blush and the highlighter. I love the color story of the eyeshadows. The only thing I really didn't like was on my skin tone, this blush is okay. It's very mauve-y, cool toned, But on somebody who is either a little bit more tan than me, I don't, or like super, super dark, I really don't feel like this would translate well to somebody with that kind of skin tone because it is that weird, it would look ashy. And I've heard other creators say that, and I know that this would just be too light for somebody with a darker skin tone. For me personally, it is beautiful. It actually fairly resembles the shade in here, except that this one is a little bit more lavender. It's down here, whereas this one has a little bit more of that mauve undertone to it. I think if she had gone more of that like Dior color, the like almost lavendery pink color, it may have been a little bit different, but it has a lot of like ashiness to it. Like I feel like somebody who is not light skin toned like me, it would not look pretty on. The highlight is gorgeous. I do love the highlight. It's a cream highlight. It is so pretty. It goes on smooth. Texture is not a problem. The eyeshadows are so pretty, and I love the color story. I love this rose gold shade. It's like a true rose gold shade. However, upon like doing comparison swatches between like the larger Love palettes from the Mini Crush palette, even my Sigma Mini Enchanted, like those are all really similar in tone to this palette, especially the Love palettes that she's done as a part of this collection. And if you have those palettes, you don't need this palette. If you don't have those palettes, this would probably be a really good investment for you because it offers the face and the eyes, and they're colors that you could wear. You can make really romantic looks with it, really like everyday neutral looks with it. So it is one of those palettes that's like very versatile. But if you have those other palettes, you don't need this palette. Even if you have some of her cream blushes, you don't need that palette. Thank you so much, guys, for staying tuned to the end of this video. I hope you liked all of these like speed reviews, some yeses, a lot of yeses, some no's because they're just that bad, and some like product. And I hope you guys like this video and consider subscribing to my channel so you can see more. And I hope I get to see you in my next video. Bye!